you know, people give me a bio or something to read, and I'm like, oh, so this is the list of places where they've been public, you know, just like, okay, I'll just gloss over it and be like, yeah, that's fine, no big deal. Well, all right, she's been published, but this Charlotte Hart character, check this out. I'm gonna quote this. She's had solo exhibitions at the Art Institute of Chicago. I'm already jealously pissed off. And in Berlin, Germany, I'm like, oh, wow. Man, you know, and it goes on here with their illustrations that are done in books that are going to be done from Simon & Schuster, and I'm like, this is insane. I mean, there's got a bunch of, this is, so if you thought that this was just like to me, I'm like, I don't know who this is, what? There's a lot of really cool stuff about this person. Pardon, you're my celeb, and she's all well dressed too for it. I'm so double plus jealous, since I like to say it. But ladies and gentlemen, please give me the hugest round of applause for Charlotte Hart. Oh yeah, if you don't remember what you like, you'll say all your praise.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. The first poem I'm going to read was published in Barnwood International Poetry Magazine this year. It's called Anthropomorphic USA. The head is New York City, Harvard, and MIT. Photonics, robotics, electronics, the Met, the Dow, the crowds. Subways of synapses. The right arm is raised, and the right hand holds the Pentagon. And the M113. USS Nimitz, F-35 Lightning II, 200,000 phone calls a day, NSA and CIA. The left hand thumbs a ride. The feet are in paradise. Hibiscus, plumeria, ixora, hukilaulés, and foaming waves. Surfers, sunshine, sand and pineapples. The groin is in Hollywood. I'll have what she's. Here's looking at you. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to. You had me at. I never dreamed physical experience could be so stimulating. Look at that. Look how she moves, like jello on springs. But the heart is in the Midwest. The dog's tail tapping before you even appear, because he knows you're coming, and that makes him happy. Steady dreams, wheat fields, aroma of baked bread, grilled corn, corny jokes, truth tables constant in heat or chill. As you drive into town, east on the Edens, the city appears. Chicago strong, clacking along, the L by Sweetwater, a coin in the Salvation Army bucket. I'm going to read a few poems from my book, The Pegasus Ring. Ossip Mandelstam. I knew you were looking for me. Was it the time I was covered with bees, their wings and fuzzy bodies skimming on my cheeks, forehead, and bare arms? From the first phrase, I recognized you. You called me armed with the vision of slender wasps, but I was not born then. You were not at St. Isaac's in St. Petersburg. I only saw the malachite columns. Now I have found you. You are gone. We both realized it was not fleshy knowing that is ours. Your words have thrown off their Leningrad coat and trust you with me in Chicago. Your thoughts reached me as you knew they would, crooked street. I yearn for and call and cast my dancing lines to another unborn, who will know me instantly as I knew you. This is called Ah. Both aware, dart acid glance, press, squeeze, in, vent, solve, smooth, out, sassafras, laugh, loud now, fermented, wet sugar tongue, Open fingers squeeze tight, soft thigh mounds between each. Heads, beads of regret on upper lip, milk tip, tight tumbling, winter green speed, lowing, purring, weeping, kissing, rosy, rushing, ester tangled full, and let go, fleshy salmon, cotton comets, hail. Colored ropes of silk around an ancient tree. No matter what else is happening, in the morning, there the barges are slowly pulled on the Chowpariah, and in the Shangri-La, barefoot maids with sweet smiles, smooth fresh sheets. Chungking mansions. Hot, humid night, hearts beating, neon Hong Kong July late summer crowds, beggar's chicken, golden mallet, breaking crust with mother's ginger pound, lettuce-wrapped pigeon, deep-fried lamb, lemon fish, black mushrooms, pea pods. Back alone, awake in dark, silent room, I stared out the window at the Chungking mansions. Light green glow in one room, dark stain on the outside of the building like a falling man. No motion in 40 windows where stickings were common in urine odor halls. Up on the hot roof, silhouette of a man standing in the Kowloon heat. I watched unseen, he motionless for a long time, haloed by neon-saturated black sky. Slowly raised his hand to his mouth. Hot orange pinpoint glow inhale. His arm lowered. He stood still, then slipped out of sight. For those who have been fired, or for all those who have experienced this, and there are many, this is called fired, let go. Not worked for more than a year, sent 100 resumes with no response, showered and dressed to the thoughts of company value, awards, and years of politics, and persistence, need for the sameness of its embrace, now deeper in distance, work as beloved, engine of support out of gas. Do not apply if you are jobless, worth determined in the now. Electronic tweets at break of day of broken effort, interview blur, and thy sweet love remembered such confusion of why, when foreclosure of spirit and home and laughter, and desire packed in cardboard boxes bottomed out with the lowest line. Unemployed, the name of the nameless. Statistics released, numbered days without worth in a world of potted plants and receptionist bouquets. Smiles and handshakes, turning hope into happy meals and sucking up the dark cola of need, stepping off public transportation, looking up at frequent flyers. Blame, the only delicious steak to offer. Validation of weeping, argument of the unwaged. Re-educate, new skills, interview face coins loss. Interviewer redolent of empty promise, size you up, your size, this gathering wave of tears built to overpower, flooding inland plans and dreams. Now withdraw to a space of mine. Fire me not dead to this round ball I balance on. This is called Tai Chi. It was published in Apparatus magazine. Professor Ho said, the ill would call a master and practice, watching pain would abate. Though just a learner, I offered the story and an attempt. Amber plastic pill bottles, syringes, dark circles under your eyes, propped up on pillows you allowed me to try. coconut calm concentration under the Florida sun, in white cotton pants and shirt by the pool, for your eyes barefoot I began push hands to rid you of illness, doing battle with your pain. Cloud hands transform, sick bed to drifting boat, I palm frond, sunning lizard pattern on water, energy slow and dry stone alone. Force of life opening white star jasmine, unwinding red hibiscus, macadamia perfume, bulging grapefruits pendulous on their tree, I finish still. In waves of heat, you standing at your window watching me. Did that help? You nodded and said, look. Where the pattern unfolded by the pool, a white egret stood. Well, this is called Thrilled. That feeling when you were 3 and you got new shoes, noticing them walking on air, or the smile from a girl you liked in 2nd grade, assurance of friendship, getting the lead in a 6th grade play, being the best of all who tried, the dive into an aquamarine pool, swimming up to applause, the first sexual glance, the danger, the excitement, your new car, all the developing thrills, frequent and numerous, continued, even yearned for children and health until the envelopes with windows came, screaming their demands month after month, taxing bites into the leftover gains, from hours in traffic leading to office petty politics, teachers' lounge jealousies, and other workplace donuts of meager accomplishment. In the face of Nobel Awards and NBA salaries, when, with no need for a straw, the weight-bearing columns collapse, never one at a time, deaths, father, mother, sister, friend. Where is the thrill now? I want it, he said. The thrill makes infrequent appearances, but those intense feelings of wild delight, where are they? Alex asked his partner's 90-year-old mother as she sat looking out over the lake, and she said, they come back. Screaming at the unknown. A November night, we were doing homework in my red breakfast room, our books spread on the oak table, next to a window 20 feet off the ground. In daylight, there was a view of a long garden. The Diefenbachia on the table was a receptacle for my hated vitamins. Every morning, with little push, I continued my year-round enrichment of the soil. There were samplers on the walls. To a friend's house, the road is never long, and as in a game of cards, so in the game of life, we must play what is dealt to us, and the glory consists not so much in winning as in playing a poor hand well, by Josh Billings. The alphabet sampler, turned taupe with age, was from 1858. As I studied, I became aware of something, the being looked at feeling. I turn. Eye level outside the window. 2 strong lights hovered above, about 15 feet away, separated from each other by about 6 feet of darkness. They were the size of basketballs. They had pure white, thick light energy. The dense lights outside the window hovered. Then Carolyn noticed and began to scream at the unknown. So I did too. But I was watching them pulse and wondering. Carolyn's screaming was fear. Mine a reflex, reciprocal, polite. I watched them while we screamed, their dense, bright breathing. The lights cast no shadows and made no reflection on the elms or the ground. One light, like the lens of a camera, closed into itself and disappeared. The other, intense and brilliant, throbbed in the darkness above the garden. Then it closed and black was all there was outside the window. After the, "What was that?" we went back to our books. I just had a book published from Finishing Line Press. This is it. Perfect for this dark light.
Oh, cool.
This is a beat.
cover.
There are about 50 poems, and there are also 50 drawings to go with them, but this little book has 26 poems. I'm going to read some of the poems in the book and a few that weren't in. Apple elderflower, October fruit of crisp juicy days, May white foamy flowers, a woman, a teenage girl, desire. Apricot, hot lazy summer color, fruity fresh days, ignoring facts, proof in taste. Asian pear, a young man runs uphill in San Francisco, past a restaurant's garlic enticement, a flower shop, jasmine, lily, rose, eucalyptus. Running higher up the hill, past marijuana blue-white smoke from an open apartment window, olfactory orchestra and physical endurance, the rhythm of his steps, pleasure running powerful prime. 1-2, 1-2. To the top overlooking orange glow evening and city lights. Home, he showers in soapy steam. Wrapped in a towel, he reaches for an Asian pear. Holistic, pale bell ball of crisp. Beet, fairy ruby hidden under earth, full of red sunset in a sugar bulb. Doorknob to denial and delight. Black currant, little dots on the string ethery of sweet, dark matter distilled delicious. Might make something right. Blood orange, hot, I'm going to get me some hot. Sweet, I'm going to get me some crazy colors in pulp citrus gay red orange. Release juicy and feel as good as doing wrong. And feel as good as doing right. Cherry, bright red polka dots in pairs and bunches of 3 against summer sky blue. Reach for the highest rung of the ladder. Taste what will never be reached at the top. Chocolate, why deny yourself? After all, it's just chocolate. Take away, it's just. Take away, after all. Chocolate. Coffee, awake, awake, long road heady aroma, ready taste of morning, rich sip after dinner, meet for it, first taste on a date, good taste. Elderflower, that spring evening, that warm flower perfumed wind, waiting, wanting, finding. Fig, full purses of same, bags of sweet, wind in branches of manly swagger. Hibiscus, meniscus tropical liquid bulge over the top of the glass, the nature of the color red when it enters heat and blooms. Lemon verbena, I'm going to skip a little bit. Indiana pawpaw, small liberal arts college cornfield confidence, Midwestern tropical banana custard perfume, North America's biggest berry survives deep snow. Orange blossom, I'll send this to you at the end of January, when you have had 2 weeks without sun and you're scraping ice off your windshield, or perhaps in the summer, when it is so hot you could fry an egg on the same car's hood. the spirit of orange blossoms could take extremes and joyfully marry them. Parsley, lacy green chopped to bits and sprinkled on top, or chewed before a kiss, beloved of potatoes and picnics, the greenest of fresh. Pear, the blush is unashamed, more a flush of crimson pleasure on the sunny side of yellow, juicy fragrance of its tree. Persimmon, natural ornaments on swaying branches, dense reds and yellows of blackbird flies or ripe fruit drops. Rhubarb strawberry, thick ruby stems, pudgy berry jewels, convivial fruity union, expectations broken rules. Rose hips, nimble high sea scarlet fruit of wild roses, Native American cures, no postmodern demurs. Rosemary, remember me, evergreen teen, in our distance of time and place, you restore me unseen. Rye, elegant gestures drawn in air by whiskered seeds on slender reeds, transformed clear essence, smooth liquid presence. Spelt, spirit of spelt, legacy of the Levant, this awakening of ancient taste and ties compacts 1,000 years in surprise. Time, courage remembered, tiny leaves, minutes passing, honeybees buzz, the choice that was. Young walnut, tender twiggy fresh young green nuts, not woody but white within, taste the promise of a great shady tree. Walnut, perfect shell package, earthy flavor, reaches 40 airy meters, crunch and savor, remembrance of leafy walks and celebrations, nut graduate, degree of the tree. Thank you.
And that was her pilot. Then you've got to get right back up here and say, please, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Charlotte Hart. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I should briefly say, because this is just the end of this year and this strange venue, we've got one more feature lined up for 2011, and that is Elizabeth Jacobson, our New Mexico transplanter. She's just come over here. She's going to have a ton of people, and it should be really cool. We're going to figure out, are we going to sit at the back tables, or what are we going to do for fitting for this space, but it should be really cool. And that is on the 11th of December, if I didn't mention that before. And there is no feature scheduled for the last week here on December 18th, so I was thinking I was going to have some recordings from an operatic singer doing backup while I'm doing some Christmas poems. So if anybody wants to come over and do that, you know, do something about Hanukkah, I don't care. It just, you know, it's just right around Christmas time. I don't know, do whatever you'd like. But if anybody wants to know anything about this podcast or future features or future schedule changes or location changes, you can always go to chaoticarts.org/thecafe. And you can get info on anything. You can be signed up on the list so you can get cool podcast performances like this great feature right here. And I want to thank everybody for coming here, and I look forward to seeing you all again